Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Everyone welcome. Power and its manifestation in the word. Aziz, a divine attribute. I will go over some salient features of this divine attribute as applicable to us as human beings. So I'm sure that we will benefit from various aspects which I will be covering today. These are some of the references. If anyone wishes to study further, some of the points will not be, you will not find them in these because some of these are based on my own observations. So there are elements of today's presentation which are, you will not find them in writing anywhere. Now this is our WhatsApp contact in case there is any query or question, particularly those who are going to share this presentation later on YouTube. Outline of the presentation. First, I will go through the root of Aziz. Then I will go through the root of Malak. Now, Malak has the same has a root which also deals with power. So I thought it is better to briefly point out to the aspects of these two roots. Some general quotes on power. I've taken these from Google. Elements of power. Two paths to acquiring power in the world. The Quranic procedure to acquire power. We will look at some of the verses. Rububiyat needs us to be Aziz. That is, we have to become powerful in order to run the system of Rububiyat. Two opposing models of Aziz. Various verses on some aspects of Aziz. As we know, it's a massive subject, but over here we will get a flare of it so that when we read the Quran, we should be clear about its importance. Display of power in the world. Manifestation of being Aziz, and then I will conclude it. Root of Aziz. Now this is the root over here, Ain, Zay and Zay. Power, intensity, supremacy, elevation and protection. All these are different shades of its meanings. It can be that state of man which protects him from becoming overwhelmed. That is the inner state of that man, that he does not become overwhelmed by external circumstances or through his own emotions. I.e., such a hard inner state becomes created that it cannot be suppressed by anyone. And this is very important. We should keep it in mind that when we are going through these verses, this is what the Quran is aiming at. Hard land whose soil or sand becomes solid with rain. And this is interesting because Wahi is like rain, and our self, our body and self both are just like the soil. And Quran has given numerous examples about this. Overpowering someone and subduing him by being hard and through firmness. An eagle is called Al-Azizato. Azza means to become powerful. Azzazahu is provided power. Next, there are some applications I have noted over here. This word is used opposite to Zillato, and its meaning is to acquire power and total authority. Al-Aziz has appeared for Allah in the Quran, i.e. the sovereignty and authority in the universe is only of His law and no other power can overcome it. In human society, Jamaat-e-Mu'mineen can acquire it by living life as per the laws of Allah. So we should keep it in mind that we are forming, or we are part of Jamaat-e-Mu'mineen. When we become Mu'min and come together, the Jamaat literally comes into existence. Acquisition of power in the world as per the law of Allah. Man can acquire this power, i.e. in the physical domain as well as in social and collective human life by acquiring knowledge of this law. Now the next root is Malak. I've noted the root over here. Possessing power, acquiring control and authority over something, choice and intent leading to authority, solid foundation. That is important. It builds up a solid foundation. That foundation on which something is established. This is why water and nutrients, including other means and resources, are also called Malak. The means or thing through which some matter reaches a solution and becomes accomplished is Milkul Amr. It is also noted that the essence of the root MLK is power and intensity. So there is no point in just having a power if it is not intense. It is not focused. So that is the point over here. Malakut, power and authority, government and state, also noted for a great nation state, but this is specific in relation to the dominion of Allah. This is because in the universe, all authority and sovereignty belongs to him. He is its basis and support and master of all its functioning. Next is Malik, means the possessor of control and authority. Malik is he under whose control others come. I'm not sure about this pronunciation. It could be Malik or Malik, but as long as we know what it means. Allah being Malik means that his sovereignty is for keeping the balance and proper functioning in the universe so that it keeps working according to the law and procedure. Everything keeps on getting its needs of life. And this is taken, both roots are taken from Lughatul Quran. Some quotes on power, and I got it from Google. I thought to get some flavor that how human beings are defining power outside the Quran. The only way to make a difference is to acquire power, and this was said by Hillary Clinton. And next are there 4 components of power, which include wealth, control, usage, and its spread. Politics is the art of acquiring, holding, and wielding power. An understanding of people's hidden motives is the single greatest piece of knowledge you can have in acquiring power. There is only one thing in this world, and that is to keep acquiring money and more money, power and more power. All the rest is meaningless. Power is much easier to acquire than it is to hold on to it. Power from being close to power. So over here, it is not the power itself, but those who are closer to this power. The closer a person is to power, the greater power he or she exerts. The higher a unit reports in a firm's hierarchy, the more power it possesses. Acquiring power alone does not make great leadership. Acquiring power takes ambition, but ambition can lead to unethical behavior. That is why people who are at the top, there is one man at the top, but there are loads of people around him or her. Acquiring knowledge doesn't bring power into your life until you apply what you have learned. A bit more sensible statement. My job in my work is not to acquire power, it is to question power. This is the sort of answers you get from those who support democracy. Ironically, women who acquire power are more likely to be criticized for it than are the men who have always had it. And then is the men who crave power are best fitted to acquire it and least fitted to exercise it. And last one is, before we acquire great power, we must acquire wisdom to use it well. And this is interesting. This is what Quran says, that you become Hakim, and also to know the power which you already have and how you're going to multiply it. Some elements of national power. Now over here, what I've done is, a long time back in 1985, when I did Staff College, we were taught these elements of national power. And I thought to share it with you, though I have taken this list from Google. First is geography of a nation. Its area, how big area they have, location, where they are located in the world, strategic depth they have, neighboring countries, whether they have enemies or friends, climate, topography. So all these add to the power of a nation. How much natural resources they have. Of course, whether they have control or they are aziz on their resources or not, that is another thing which also needs to be considered. Population, numbers, education, belief system, age distribution. Merely numbers do not add power. What they are as human beings, that is very important. Leadership, its competence, incorruptibility, whether or not value-driven, long-term planning, their attributes. Quality of governance, political system, facilitating problem solving, complex or simple model, risk management, meritocracy, transparency, accountability at various levels, health and safety, security. I could think of these, we can always add more to it. Extent of economic development, jobs, nature of employment, potential for further development, entrepreneurship, housing, strength of the currency, financial and banking sector, vulnerabilities. Of course, what I've noted down over here is within the capitalist system. Industrial capacity, real and potential. Technology, existing state and its future. Military, threats and state of development. Ideology, all aspects are included, individual and collective outlook. And we know what is the significance of Iman or not having Iman. National character and morale, overall state of the government systems, level of corruption, risk management, long-term sustainability. Foreign support, and I've taken it from Google. 2 paths to acquiring power in the world. I thought to put this right at the outset so that we are clear that what Quran is asking us to consider or to think over or reflect. Adam informed at the outset about the path of Batil and the path of Haqq. The first relates to the path of Iblis and the second relates to the path of Allah. So we know right at the beginning in verse 30th of Surah Al-Baqarah and then onwards till 38th verse, whole scenario is discussed. Right at the outset that Adam has been given choice and he has the potential to characterize things. And Iblisi path is, for getting power on this path, get the support of the Pharaoh of the world. In today's world, this will come from Washington and its cohorts. This is evidence-based. We need the Quran to understand it, but do not need the Quran to acquire this power. Be part of Hizb Shaitan. So anyone who wants the power coming from on this path will have to see that who holds the power and who wields the power in the world, the system are human beings. And they can approach them and get the power. And this is the state of the world as of today. And what I've done over here is I've quoted a verse from Surah Bani Israel. We have gone through it, that what power Iblis has been given. And he has been told, وَاسْتَفْزِزْ مِنْ إِسْتَطَعْتَ مِنْهُمْ بِصَوْتِكَ وَأَجْلِبْ عَلَيْهِمْ بِخِيلِكَ وَرَجْلِكَ وَشَارِكْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ وَعِدْهُمْ وَمَا يَعِدُهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ إِلَّا غُرُورًا. That Iblis was told that you can lure Adam according to your choice, and those who follow your path will, of course, also meet the consequences of following that path. And we can look at the details of this verse in the Quran. The second path is Allah's path, and which is given by the Quran and very clearly spelled out. This is clearly defined by the Quran and based on evidence. Adam, man and woman together, has to firstly make a choice to opt for this path, which is lit by the light of Wahi. So this path has been made very clear in the light of Wahi. Then through Iman and Saleh deeds, he has to acquire a new self different from the Iblisi path. So obviously the self which we acquire over here is not the same self which we have over here. So from this path to this path, we have to make a transition through our choice. Life on this path continues beyond physical death. This is called the path of Allah, Deen. Power ultimately comes to those who persevere on this path together. And over here, I've quoted this verse from Surah Bani Israel again, where Quran says, Inna ibadi laisa laka alayhim sultanun wa kafa bi rabbika wakila. In reply to this earlier verse, the Quran says that people who follow my path will not be like that. And they will, of course, look for the system of Rububiyat. The Quran is the procedure to acquire power. We have gone through this part previously as well, but in today's context, it is slightly in more detail. And Quran over here says, Inna allazina kafaru bizikri lamma ja'ahum wa innahu la kitabun aziz. That Allah's book provides us power. Those who reject the zikr, when it comes to them, indeed, it is a book which deals with power, or it is aziz. So we know zikrukum, Quran is our zikr, and zikrullah, of course, Allah's zikr, and Allah is aziz, so we can become aziz if we follow this book. فَلَا تَعْصَبَنَّ اللَّهَ مُخْلِفَ وَعْدِهِ رُسُلَهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ ذُو انتِقَامٍ. Never think that Allah would fail his messenger in his promise, for Allah is exalted in power, that is aziz, and he is able to pursue reckoning. So these are the two aspects of being aziz, that first is to acquire power and then follow whatever path we have defined for ourselves. Min qablu hudan lin-nasi wa anzala al-furqana innal ladzina kafaru bi ayatillahi lahum azabun shadidun wallahu azizun zuntiqam. Exactly the two same attributes are used here as well as in 1447. Before this, as a guide to mankind, and he sent down the criterion, which is a Furqan, that is, it differentiates between Haqq and Batil. Then those who do kufr of the signs of Allah will suffer the severest penalty, and Allah is exalted in might, possessor of retribution. The next will make it even more clear procedure and process of acquiring power. I've quoted here two verses. First is Man kana yuridul izzata falillahil izzatu jamiya. Ilayhi yas'adul kalimul tayyibu wal amalu salihu yarfa'uhu. Wallazina yamkuruna sayyi'ati lahum azabun shadid wa makru ulaika huwa jabur. If any do seek for power, very important, we should keep it in mind. If any do seek for power, so there has to be a desire to become more powerful in the path of deen. To Allah belongs power in totality. So everything comes, if we understand Allah's laws, then we should understand how to get power. So because the words used over here are Jamia, to him mount up words of purity, that is those words which are Allah's message, Allah's divine guidance, those rise. How do they rise? It is He who exalts each saleh deed. So if we do saleh deeds, then these kalimul tayyibu will rise. That is what the Quran is saying, and that is how we will get Jamia, Izzat. And it's important for us to understand that why Quran again and again emphasizes on Iman and Amal Saleh as a recipe. So this verse requires our very deep reflection, and we should look into it again and again, because this thing will become clearer once we go to subsequent verses. وَالَّذِينَ يَمْكُرُونَ السَّيِّئَاتِ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ شَدِيدٌ وَمَكْرُ أُولَٰئِكَ هُوَ جَبُورٌ. So over here, Quran also points to those who want to achieve this power, that don't be discouraged, don't be frightful, don't be frightened of what you find on earth or in the world. That is the man-made system. What we need to do is do this, the first part. The second will, then you can deal with it later on once you have acquired the power. Now, this is the famous verse which we have gone through many times before, so I'll quickly go over it. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَا يَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم ولا يمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم ولا يبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم امنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فاولئك هم الفاسقون. I've gone through it so many times that more or less I now remember it by heart. Allah has promised to those who have Iman and perform saleh deeds, that is balance restoring deeds, that He will grant them in the land inheritance as He granted it to those before them. So it is evidence-based from history. That He will establish an authority, their deen, the one which He has chosen for them, and that He will change their state after the fear in which they are to one of peace and security. They will follow Me and not do shirk. If any do kufr after this, they are fasiqun. Next one is becoming Aziz leads to eligibility for Allah's help, and it is again evidence-based phenomena. First one is وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرَى وَلَا وَلِتَطْمَئِنَّ بِهِ قُلُوبُكُمْ وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Allah made it but a message of glad tidings and an assurance to your hearts. There is no help except from Allah, and Allah is exalted in power, the manifestation of which can be comprehended through rational thinking based on the Quran, and that is what Hakim means. Now over here, we should keep it in mind that we read through the Quran numerous verses in which word Aziz has appeared, and it has appeared with other attributes. Now over here, Quran, Allah is not trying to impress human beings that I am very powerful and to create fear within us. We should look at it that how can we benefit of His being Aziz. And what Quran puts before us are certain responsibilities, certain duties which we have to carry out in the human world in the process of establishing deen and to make human life free from fear and huzn. So Aziz should be seen in that context along with other attributes of Allah. Next one is وَلِلَّهِ جُنُودُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عَزِيزًا حَكِيمًا. For to Allah belong the forces, that is Junud, of the heavens and the earth, and Allah is exalted in power and Hakim. Next, I've put down two comments here. Jamaat-e-Mu'mineen is the part of this Junud in this word. So that is important, that His Junud includes Jamaat-e-Mu'mineen, human beings, those who follow the Quran. Being on this path of acquiring power includes exclusion of self-doubt. So we should not doubt about it. If we are on this path, then we should proclaim it as well. Say, I am on this path and I will continue on this path. It doesn't matter whether others follow it or not. And once all of us are on this path, then we should be confident that we are on this path, and we should check it in the light of the Quran and then keep becoming stronger and stronger. Understanding aspects of power which add to self-development. So this is important part. If we are becoming Aziz and we are gaining power, then we should understand that we have become Aziz and this power is adding up. And obviously it means that we should know where we are, and then we should know where we are heading for. Am yasuduna nasa ala ma atahumullahu min fadlihi faqad ataina ala Ibrahim al-kitaba wal hikmata wa atainahum mulkan azima. See, in the same process, in the same order, Quran says that Ibrahim and those who followed his path, they had kitab, they used it, hikmata, that is, they used it the way the book guided them, and then as a result, they were established in the land. Or do they envy mankind for what Allah has given them of his fadl? But we had already given the people of Ibrahim the book and hikmat and conferred upon them a great kingdom. So we should never ever doubt this procedure. Initially it is hard, but gradually we get evidence for it. وَكَذَلِكَ نُرِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ مَلَكُوتَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلِيَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُوقِنِينَ. Very important that this power is the one which makes and strengthens our iman as we tread on this path. So did we show Ibrahim the power and the laws of the heavens and the earth, that he may have certitude. It is not otherworldly. It takes place right in our life. And over here, there is a counter side of it. وَنَادَى فِرْعَوْنُ فِي قَوْمِهِ قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ وَهَٰذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهِ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. So over here, the Quran has quoted that what happens in a man-made system, those who are at the top of this system, they also declare power. And Pharaoh proclaimed among his people, saying, "O my people, does not the dominion of Egypt belong to me? These streams flowing underneath, what? Do you not see?" So he is questioning them because he ensures that this power remains with him. And over here, those who are following the Kitab, Hikmah, then they are countering it. So this is the confrontation between Batil and Haq. Power display in the physical world by Pharaoh and also by Allah needs a deep reflection. So we should go back to that slide where I said there are two paths to acquiring power in this world. Signs of acquiring power. Hearts start becoming united, differences disappear and are replaced by mutual affection. Now this is where what is applicable to us at this point in time. وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ لَوْ أَنْفَقْتَ مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مَا أَلَّفْتَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ أَلَّفَ بَيْنَهُمْ إِنَّهُ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Absolutely brilliant verse from our point of view. And he has put affection between your hearts. So Aziz and Hakim means if I am becoming powerful and I am using this power, then my heart must be united with all those who are also on this path. Not if you had spent all that is in the earth, would you have produced that affection. So it has eliminated all other kinds of affection. But Allah has done it because he is Aziz and Hakim. For he is Aziz and Hakim. We all need to do it. This does not come automatically and we have to make an effort. And if we remember, this is related to the same verse. We have gone through it before. وَتَعْصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. That differences must disappear. And when differences disappear, our hearts unite. That means we are becoming Aziz and we are also understanding the hikmat of it. لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا أَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. And over here there is another attribute added, Rauf. Now has come unto you a messenger from amongst yourselves. It grieves him that you should perish. Ardently anxious is he over you. To Mu'mineen is he most kind and Rahim. And of course, over here, the book is with us, and using that book, we have to achieve all this. That is, we have to have a concern for each other. We should feel grief as well in case some member confronts some problems. At the same time, our hearts should become more united with the passage of time. Kataballahu la aghlibanna ana wa rusuli innallaha qawiyyun aziz. Allah has decreed. Just see, Allah has decreed. Kataballahu. So it is a law. It is I and my messengers, that is those who are now carrying the message, that is all of us, who must prevail. For Allah is one full of strength, able to enforce His will. So why I've given this order? Because if we see that if our hearts are united, then gradually this thing will turn up into more power. That is, we will become Qawiyyun Aziz. And this is an internal state where the doubts disappear. And then we should have full confidence, full trust that Allah will help us. He's already helping us because it is through His book that our hearts are becoming united or have been united. This interchange points to acquiring higher level of this attribute of Aziz. Becoming Aziz is required for carrying out responsibilities. So why should we become Aziz? Because this inner strength comes to carry out those responsibilities which Allah has taken on Himself. Fid dunya wal akhirat. So the Quran always talks, as we know, of this word as well as the word linked to it of the hereafter. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْيَتَامَى قُلْ إِصْلَاحٌ لَهُمْ خَيْرٌ وَإِنْ تُخَالِطُوهُمْ فَإِخْوَانُكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ الْمُفْسِدَ مِنَ الْمُصْلِحِ وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَأَعْنَتَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. This life and the hereafter, they ask you concerning orphans. If you remember that the Quran does talk about yatim and miskin and asks us to keep our wealth and possessions open for the use of others. So we should keep that context in mind. Say the best thing to do is what is for their good. That is the good of others. If you mix their affairs with yours, they are your brethren. But Allah knows the man who means mischief from the man who means good. And if Allah had wished, He could have put you in difficulties. He is indeed Aziz and Hakim. So this is a guideline set for the system of deen, and this is obviously at an individual level. So over here, that is why Quran has pointed to this, that those who try to do mischief towards these yatama, they should know that Allah knows their hearts. But ultimately, once the system is established, then these things will disappear because the state will take care of it. The Jamaat-e-Mu'minin at the top will take care of it. Next one is Alladhina ukhriju min diyarihim bighayri haqqin illa an yaqulu rabbuna Allahu wa laula daf'ullahi an-nasa ba'dahum bi ba'din la huddimat swami'u wa biyaun salawatun masajidu yuzkaru fi hasmuhullahi kaseeran wa la yansuranna Allahu man yansuruhu innallaha la qawiyyun aziz. Again, a famous verse, we have gone through it before as well. Those who have been expelled from their homes without haqq, except that they say, our Rabb is Allah. Did not Allah check one set of people by means of another? There would have been pulled down monasteries, churches, synagogues, and mosques in which the name of Allah is mentioned a lot. Allah will certainly help those who help Him, for verily He is full of strength, exalted in might. So over here we know that Quran is directing Mu'mineen to stand up for Him. In case they don't, then we will see chaos and bombing and conflicts and civil wars everywhere, which is the state as of today. So since there is no Jamaat-e-Mu'minin, there are no Jamaat-e-Mu'minin who are Qawiyyun Aziz, so we see the word the way it is. So these are the things we should keep it in mind. Various combinations of Aziz with other attributes. Over here I've drawn a schematic which I thought is quite interesting. First is human problems and issues need solutions. Two aspects of this process, which is cognitive and physical. So we need to keep it in mind that we think as well as we act. So thinking part is a cognitive part and physical is where we act in the outer world. First is we need to become alim to know the problems and issues being faced by humanity. Since our Allah is alim, hence I need to be alim. So I put an emphasis over here on each one of us. Second is we all have some inherent power within us which needs to be applied in the light of the Quran. So whatever power we have at this point in time, we should practice it. And I'm sure we are already practicing it. For this, we need to become Hakim. That is the use of that power. And we went through Hakim in our previous presentation. For example, use our available power by becoming Hakim. Next is while enhancing our understanding of becoming Aziz, we also need to acquire aspects of being Ghafur, to no protection and security issues. Now, this path is also fraught with difficulties and it has its own risks. So we should keep these security aspects also in mind. Next is for the application of our attributes of Alim plus Hakim. Together with our inherent power, we need to know of the immediate issues around us. Hence, we need to become Khabir. And with Khabir is another very important attribute of Basir. That is, we should see it as well. And next one is, as we enhance our understanding of acquiring the attribute of Aziz, we need to do two things. Firstly, notice the change within ourselves, that it should not be left to otherworldly. Because if we become aware of it in the hereafter, that is of not much use for this world. And secondly, to start working out the collective application under Deen. So though the system of Deen is not there, but it doesn't stop us from imagining about it, thinking about it, planning about it. Being on the path of Iman leads to higher understanding. وَرَدَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِغَيْظِهِمْ لَمْ يَنَالُوا خَيْرًا وَكَفَّ اللَّهُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْقِتَالَ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ قَوِيًّا عَزِيزًا. And Allah turned back Kafirin for all their fury. No advantage did they gain, and enough is Allah for Mu'mineen in their fight, and Allah is full of strength, exalted in might. This is a very important verse and in Surah Al-Azab, which points to certain factors which we will discuss once we come to the system of Deen, because there is a strong element of human psyche over here as well as of physical aspects of it. Wal mu'minuna wal mu'minate ba'duhum awliya'u ba'din. Just see how beautifully the Quran puts together that mu'minin and mu'minat are from one another. So this comes to that is putting our hearts together. And what do they do together? Ya'muruna bil ma'rufi wa yanhauna anil munkar. Very clear task given to us. Wa yuqimuna salata. As a result of this, they establish a system of salat where his laws are followed. Yutuna zakata, where human self is taken into account all the time. Wa yuti'una Allah wa rasulahu ulaika sayarhamuhumullahu inna Allah azizun hakim. See, it ends up in Azizun Hakim. The Mu'mineen and Mu'minat are protectors of one of another. They enjoin what is just and forbid what is evil. They establish salat and execute zakat and obey Allah and the messenger, that is manifest being Aziz. On them will Allah pour his rahmat. So that is how they become eligible for Allah's rahmat. For Allah is exalted in might and Hakim. It points covered here to become Aziz plus Hakim. Becoming Alim is part of this process of acquiring power and protection. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ وَالدَّوَابِ الْأَنْعَامِ مُخْتَلِفٌ أَلْوَانُهُ كَذَلِكَ إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ غَفُورٌ. Why I included this verse is that I wanted to see that all these things are leading to becoming scholars of the Quran and scholars of Deen, so that we can establish the system of Deen, and obviously for that we need all that is required prior to the system of Deen. And so among mankind and creatures and cattle are they of various colors. This is the scientific side of it. Those truly fear Allah among his servants who have knowledge, for Allah is exalted in might and all protecting. Fear of Allah over here needs a bit of explanation. I'll not go into the details, but Allama Parvez has covered this verse extremely well, where he has pointed to various aspects of becoming a scholar. And this is, as we know, ittaqullah, that is becoming muttaqi is part of it, where we want to avoid the pitfalls of our life. So that is where it is a very high level of acquiring consciousness, which is pointed over here. إِذْ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ غَرَّ هَؤُلَاءِ دِينُهُمْ وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Lo, the hypocrites say, and those in whose hearts is a disease, these people, their deen has misled them. Obviously, people who are not interested in the Quran will think that those who are following the Quran are misled, which is fine. Over here, the issue is not that what others say. The issue is that whether the light of the Wahi is guiding us through this darkness which human beings have created. So that is the point which is in front of us. And that is where we should be concentrated, so that doubts don't come, because doubts kill our determination. They make us fearful. And if we become fearful, then we are not going to become that Aziz which Allah wishes us to become. But if any trust in Allah, behold, Allah is exalted in might and He is Hakim. All this can be understood rationally. وَيَنْصُرَكَ اللَّهُ نَصْرًا عَزِيزًا. And Quran has very clearly stated in that Allah may help you with powerful help. If we help the cause of Allah, then we will get the help. And then that is where Allah being Aziz comes in, that we have also become Aziz. And this point will understanding scaling related to power play in the word. Ma qadarullaha haqqa qadrihi inna allaha la qawiyyun aziz. No just estimate have they made of Allah, for Allah is He who is strong, exalted in might. And this refers to precise scaling in the word. This understanding leads to becoming Aziz. So we need to understand, and we should keep it in mind, that there is a precise scaling at every level of human working and in the word around us. So we need to keep an eye on that scaling and keep discovering it as we live our life. Illa tansuruhu faqad nasarahullahu is akhrajahul lazina kafaru saniyas naine is huma fil ghari is yaqulu li sahibihi la tahzan inna allaha ma'ana fa anzalallahu sakinatahu alayhi wa ayyadahu bijunudin lam tarawha wa ja'ala kalimatal lazina kufra sufla wa kalimatullahi hiyal ulya wallahu azizun hakim. Now, I included this verse because I thought this should provide a great assurance to each one of us that Allah's help and His security is always available if we are on this path. And because He is Aziz and Hakim, we will also get that inner resoluteness, that inner assurance that I am on the right path and I will not be left alone. If you help not, for Allah did indeed help him. When Kuffar drove him out, he had no more than one companion. The two were in the cave, and he said to his companion, have no fear, for Allah is with us. This is the story of the account when Rasulullah migrated from Mecca to Medina, and Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq was with him, and they were hiding or taking a protection within a cave. And there were some signs of, should I say, some kind of apprehension on the face of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. And that is where Rasulullah, because he was Aziz, he told him, La tahzan inna allaha ma'ana. Then Allah sent down His peace upon him and strengthened him with forces which you saw not, and humbled to the depths the word of the kuffar. But the word of Allah is exalted to the heights, for Allah is Aziz and Hakim. So this is something which for us, we should keep it in mind, that when we are on this path, then we are not alone. We are aiming to carry out the responsibilities which Allah has taken on Himself, and we become His companions. So when we become that companion, then we become authorized for all the help which we need as spelled out in the Quran. Rububiyat is supported by becoming Aziz. لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانَ لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ وَأَنزَلْنَا الْحَدِيدَ فِيهِ بَأْسٌ شَدِيدٌ وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ وَلِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ مَنْ يَنصُرُهُ وَرُسُلَهُ بِالْغَيْبِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ قَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. We sent aforetime our messengers with clear signs and sent down with them the book and the balance, that men may stand forth in justice. So whole point of the Quran is to establish justice in this earth so that fear and huzn disappear, and there is a system of deen which takes care of the human self as well as the physical needs. We send down iron in which is material for mighty war as well as many benefits for mankind. So Quran directs us to acquire power, because that is a must to fight against batil, that Allah may know who it is that will help Him and His messenger unseen. For Allah is full of strength, exalted in power. Next one is فَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا نَجَّيْنَا صَالِحًا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ بِرَحْمَةٍ مِنَّا وَمِنْ خِزْيِ يَوْمِئِذٍ Inna rabbaka huwal qawiyul aziz. When our decree issued, we saved Saleh and Mu'mineen with him. It is in relation to Hazrat Saleh and the Mu'mineen with him, by rahmat from ourselves and from the ignominy of that day. for your Rabb is strong and exalted in might. So that means that mu'mineen are not left alone. In case such a situation comes where they have to be saved and they have to move to some other land or some other place where they can establish the system, fine. Rabbana la taj'alna fitnatan lillazina kafaru waghfir lana Rabbana innaka antal azizul hakim. Our Rabb, make us not a trial for the kuffar. So this is actually a precautionary note on our part for us, and it's a guidance that we should be all the time keep an eye on the circumstances, the environment where we are living and how things are moving, but provide us with protection. So see how the protection comes. Rabbana. So Rububiyyat, in the system of Rububiyyat and its establishment, we need to keep all these things in mind. Our Rabb, for you are Aziz and Hakim, and this is part of becoming Aziz and Hakim. So a number of points covered in these 3 verses. Our deeds lead to acquisition of power and self-development. فَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَيْهِ قَالُوا يَا أَيُّهَا الْعَزِيزُ مَسَّنَا وَأَهْلَنَا الضُّرُّ وَجِئْنَا بِبِضَاعَةٍ مُزْجَاةٍ فَأَوْفِ لَنَا الْكَيْلَ وَتَصَدَّقْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَجْزِي الْمُتَصَدِّقِينَ. Now, I'll be going through Surah Yusuf at some stage, but over here I have quoted this verse because over here, if we see that Hazrat Yusuf, once he gets established in Egypt, and his brothers come over and they are asking for help, they call him Ya Ayyuhal Aziz. So before the process of becoming or becoming Aziz, there was a process through which he went through Iman and Amal Saleh, and then he got established in the land. And by becoming Aziz, then he displayed this attribute of Mutasaddiqeen. Then when they came in his presence, Yusuf, that is Yusuf, they said, "O Aziz, distress has seized us and our family. We have now brought but a scanty amount." They didn't have enough money with them. "So pay us full measure, we entreat thee, and treat it as charity to us." Because they didn't have enough money, but they wanted enough food for their family. So they requested for extra help. For Allah does reward those who are charitable. There is a lot into this verse, but at this stage, I will only stay with these meanings, and we will look into it once we go in the details of this surah. Allazi khalaqal mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amalan wa huwal azizul ghafur. Beautiful aspects covered in this verse, that whole creation of man is that he is to live a life and then die. And these 2 processes are created so that in this world, he can establish that system which is based on ahsan amala, and which is free from of obviously fear and grief. Now, this is important for us because in order to do that, we have to go through a certain process of liyabluwakum. That is, we have to stand on haqq and resist batil and become so aziz and have that kind of a protection where we can get through all trials and tribulations and are successful in establishing the system, of course, with the help of Allah. He who created death and life so that may see which of you is best indeed, and he is exalted in might, all protecting. And next verse is Tanzil al-Aziz al-Rahim. So it is a revelation sent down by Aziz and Rahim. So this revelation is sent for us so that we can become Aziz and Rahim. The model of Yusuf, as noted in the Quran, relates to his becoming Aziz firstly at his self's level and then being bestowed with power in the outer world. In Surah Yusuf, Allah's attribute of Aziz has not appeared anywhere. Yusuf manifested it in Allah's word. That is an important thing. I revisited Surah Yusuf and I saw that Allah as Aziz has not been mentioned. And there was no need for that because Yusuf had taken on himself to become Aziz. And that is something which I will deal in more detail once we come to Surah Yusuf. 2 opposing models of being Aziz. If you remember in this chapter, the Quran has mentioned a person who is non-Quranic and he is on batil. And Quran says, Zuk innaka antal azizul kareem. That taste you this, truly mighty were you, full of honor. That in this world, human beings who are working outside the Quranic values, they also become Aziz and Kareem. Of course, they are all Aziz and Kareem. Being Kareem will end with death. So we should never ever be attracted by that. We should be all the time concentrating on that Aziz and Kareem which Allah has put forward for us, because that is what will continue us beyond the domain of this life. Ya Musa innahu anallahu al-azizul hakim. And over here, this is beautifully summed up by Allah. O Moses, verily I am Allah, the exalted in might and hakim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu man yartadda minkum an dinihi fasawfa yatillahu biqaumin yuhibbuhum wa yuhibbunahu azillatin alal mu'minina izzatin alal kafirina yujahiduna fi sabilillahi wa la yakhafuna lawmata laimin zalika fadlullahi yutihi man yasha'u wallahu wasi'un alim. O Mu'mineen, if any from among you turn back from his Iman, soon will Allah produce a people whom he will love as they will love him. This is the beauty here, that if you turn away from Iman because you think that this Quran is not worth following, and all the promises which Allah has made in this are not going to, he's not going to fulfill them, and it is not possible. And one is impressed by the power around us of Pharaoh and the human non-Quranic system, then obviously people will turn away. Even if they apparently don't turn away, their hearts will not be into it, which is fine. But the fact is, Quran has noted it here. Lowly with Mu'mineen, mighty against Kafirin. So becoming Aziz means that we are very, very strong against those who stand up for Batil. And that strength has to be built up now, before the system of Deen, and are very kind. Allah fa baina qulubihim. That is what Quran is asking us to do. And it's not mechanical. It has to arise naturally out of us, fighting in the path of Allah and never afraid of the reproaches of such as find fault. Very, the firmness and determination which is expressed in these verses is absolutely infinite. That is the fadl of Allah which he will bestow as per his mashiyat. So this is all achievable as per Allah's law. And Allah encompasses all, he is Alim. Wallahu wasi'un alim. Becoming Aziz to stand up to the challenges of life in pursuit of Deen. Becoming Aziz leads understanding darknesses of human word and its need for the light of Wahi. So we come to know the darknesses of human word, and then since we have a light of Wahi, so we can lighten up all those darknesses and remove them. Alif Lam Ra Kitabun Anzalnahu Alayka Litukhrijan Nasa Minal Zulumati Ilan Nur Bi'izni Rabbihim Ila Siratil Azizil Hamid. Alif Lam Ra, a book which we have sent down to you in order that you may lead mankind out of darknesses into light by the leave of their Rabb to the path of Aziz and Hamid. Very straightforward verse. Qalu ya ayyuhal azizu inna lahu aban shaykhan kabiran fakhuz ahadana makanahu inna naraka minal musinin. Now this is, I quoted this verse after thinking through it, because I have already shared a verse with you earlier where these brothers of Yusuf were asking for help. Over here now, the situation has slightly deteriorated. I will not go into the details and leave it for the subsequent lecture or presentation on Surah Yusuf. But over here it says, they said, O Aziz, that is Yusuf, behold, he has a father aged and vulnerable. So take one of us in his place, for we see you are among the Muhsineen. Over here, see the strength of Yusuf, that despite knowing that his father is old, and by keeping this younger brother of his, who is the beloved son of his father, like he himself once was or is, he is so firm that he says, no, he can't go back because law is law. Of course, there are other contributing factors as well. But this is something which we should keep it in mind, that once it comes to following certain values, permanent values, then we have to be very, very firm. It is who shapes you in the wombs as per his mashiyat. All potentials are kept there. There is no ilah but he, Aziz and Hakim. I included this verse primarily to say La ilaha illa huwa, that how firmly, how clearly we understand this, that will make us Aziz as well as Hakim. And of course, the first part relates to our creation and what we have got as human beings right from the beginning. Display of power in our daily life. I put down some points over here which we observe around us, and I thought to just illustrate some of these points, and we can always add more to it. We continually witness the display of power by other people, including those in power during our life. They use their choice, make decisions, and then these decisions affect them as well as those around them in the world. Second point is, at an individual level, we make choices based on our own value system and then form decisions. For example, in our job, in making purchases, in sociability, in our treatment of our children, dealing with friends. Next is, within our family structure, we display power through our expectations, words, body language, display of emotions, for example, anger, disapproval, happiness, approval, appreciation, disgust, hatred, annoyance, frustration, pleasure, and we can keep adding all our human emotions into it. Children also display their power within the domain of their influence. For example, friendship, bullying, swearing, manners, creativity. And if we, for example, go into, children also display their power within the domain of their influence, for example, friendship, bullying, swearing, manners, creativity. And if we want to see the display of it, just go to some playground and see how children behave. Through delayed gratification, we display power over our own self. It is a very deliberate decision-making process. We have a choice. We come across these choices whether to get benefit or gratify ourselves quickly, or we delay it. For example, even in our diet, we can delay gratification, or we can immediately go for it and then suffer. Through voting, for example, in a man-made setup under this democracy, we see that we manifest our power at various levels of understanding. Even when we are not aware of our power, we still display it unconsciously. When people line up in the queues and voting for a party, they are obviously promoting the party system. So their own divisions are being manifested through this voting process. Through our acquired value system, for example, permanent values, we make decisions on a daily basis. Our thoughts shape our self's outlook. The more we are aware of our own power and its manifestation, the more we become aware about our own self. Next one is manifesting the attribute of Aziz. I put down some points here which I could think of, and I'm sure if all of us join together, we can add more to it. Understanding the modus operandi of getting power in the world, as explained in the Quran, is essential, and to create the desire and motivation within us to develop ourselves to a higher level is part of this manifestation process. So we need to understand that it is not Allah is again and again telling us, oh, I am Aziz and I am Hakim and I am Alim and I am Zuntiqam. It is of no use to us if we cannot manifest it in our personality, in our outlook, in our self. Because unless we do that, we cannot carry out those functions which Allah expects us to carry out those functions as Jamaat-e-Mu'mineen. Manifesting these attributes also requires us to keep enhancing our already existing inner strength. For example, resoluteness, determination, perseverance, knowledge, conduct, patience, iman, etc. And checking this against the criterion laid down by the Quran from beginning to the end. In our day-to-day living, we should remain mindful of the functioning of the law of requital and the law of respite. Wherever we need to use our power, for example, it is cognitive power or physical power, we use it within the value structure of the Quran, for example, by being Hakim. Becoming tolerant of the choices of other human beings and learning to avoid impulsiveness and knee-jerk reactions is part of this manifestation. So we should never ever react. And once we come to Surah Yusuf, over there, Yusuf displays an extremely high level of tolerance where his brothers accuse him of theft and he does not react. And for 1 complete year, he does not react. And that is the beauty of tolerance and patience, which we need to inculcate. We need to constantly remind ourselves that I am not responsible for anyone else. If people want guidance, they will seek it. However, I need to pass on the message wherever I can for the development of my own self. This is part of acquiring power. Learn to pause, think, reflect, and then make decisions using the Quranic values, making serious decision-making in life through mutual consultation. So it is not about just individually we make decisions. Of course, there are such situations within our family setup where we have to individually make decisions, but even there, if we can consult others, involve wife or husband, involve children, involve some friend, there is no harm in that, asking someone to get another opinion. For example, within the family, both husband and wife need to involve children if possible. Asking someone who is known to be Quranic can also help. Consult the Quran if required. So we can always go back to the Quran. Of course, then we'll be consulting Allah in that case, because if we don't remember a value, why not go back to the Quran and search for it? When you do not remember its relevant value, so that is important, that if we don't remember it, go back to the Quran. This all will contribute to the development of the self. We should remember that when we make an effort, open the Quran, go through the references, go through the indexes, look at some of our presentations, go through the books, we are developing ourselves. That search, that desire to find out, that desperation to find out, that intensity and focus to find out is part of the development of the self. That is what life is all about. Life is not about wasting time sitting in front of the television and watching Netflix or Amazon or something else. Of course, that is part of a bit of entertainment, but we should be thinking on these lines 24/7. And that is how we will become Aziz. Avoid being annoyed if someone tries to give any advice or a suggestion. Just hear it, and if it is right, then have enough courage to let others know. This is part of being Aziz. Learn to say no very firmly, never compromise on any permanent value. It is important, never ever be, if there is a place where we have to say no firmly. Whether somebody is annoyed or not, that is not the issue. Issue is that a value cannot be compromised. Now, conclusions. The Quran points to two forms of acquiring power in the world, through power structure put in place by the man-device system or through the value system of the Quran. We need to be very clear about both and then make the choice for either of these paths. Both possibilities are placed within our reach. Wherever the Quran refers to Allah being Aziz, we need to view the context and then ask the question, what is in it for me or for Deen? By virtue of possessing a self with choice and intent, every human being has some inherent power which is needed for making decisions and to get through the physical existence in the world. We need as much knowledge as possible about the structure of power existing in the world. The Quran gives us the option to enhance this inherent power to become Aziz by making Allah's attribute as our model. Of course, not only this attribute, but other attributes as well. This is placed within our easy reach if we understand it through Iman and Saleh deeds and by coming together with those who also wish to become Aziz. This acquisition of power is not another worldly thing. It is very much achievable in this life. All the messengers of Allah and Jamaat-e-Mu'mineen from the past serve as model for us. If they could do it, so can we. And with that, we come to the end of this presentation. Thanks for sharing this presentation.